There you go. Overall, a good game. I like the fact that I just did the other option, and then I guess together option and then not together option. So um, see where they are, and I'm happy to see that they actually were like two different endings. You know, like it actually showed off. It wasn't like just oh, it's the same. You know how some games can be where the end choice doesn't always matter. You get the same ending regardless, which is always a bit dry and boring. So I like the fact that they actually made two different endings. And actually put in the effort, even if it was a short little ending. So that was nice. I always like it when the games do that. Overall, the game I enjoyed the game a lot. Um, there's some really dark conversations the game likes to bring up. Uh, the most, other than the dark ones, some of the more interesting ones to me being um, majoring in IT and I mean going to school for IT and majoring in AI and machine learning. The most interesting to me was the ideas of when does when do you stop becoming human, when do you stop becoming yourself, and stuff like that. That's always been an interesting idea to me. You can look at other games like Mass Effect, where you have Legion. Like, is he his own? Well, obviously, is he's a bunch of different minds together. But is it would he or it be its own person, or the because it's an AI? You know, these ideas are interesting to me. The fact that and like the game does go across to like the augmenting yourself with the robotics and stuff was seen as a fringe idea. You still had some purists, which were, and then eventually it became the mainstream, and then you had the purists that didn't augment themselves being the extreme, and then the new thing that came in was the splicing and the genetic splicing, and that was the fringe to adapting yourself. Like if not adapting, like not altering yourself was far right, then the far left would be genetically manipulating yourself. So, like, and then in between would be just the standard augmentation, like you had as the player. So, and then, but even in the game itself, it explains, it goes into detail, like when does, like how nowadays, it actually said it in one of the things I read, is like how nowadays being transgender is seen as you're crazy and not abnormal, where 10, 15, 100 years down the line, it's might just be, oh, it might be so normal it's abnormal not to be type of thing, you know? Like how the killer, the killer, he truly believed he should have been a werewolf and stuff, to the point where he started getting gene therapy and splicing in order to become a werewolf. Like those ideas are really interesting to me. Like like where tech stops and where it should stop, where it does stop, that type of stuff. It's always been interesting. So the game in a whole is very interesting concepts throughout. Some of them are very dark, obviously, like especially with the sex bots, the sex robots or androids. I would call them more androids than robots, since in many of the cases they were developing their own personalities and sort of their own free will. So overall, I always enjoyed this game. That's why I decided to play it, and even though I played it again, since a lot of times I have a hard time replaying games because I remember just so much of it that it becomes hard for me to replay it without getting incredibly bored. because I know exactly what everything does and I can remember where everything is. Like throughout it, I might mention it's like, oh, this guy, I think this guy jumps out here and stuff. That's just because I remember it from playing it 3 or 4 years ago when it first came out, the original one. So it can make replaying games a little bit um, dry for me. So that's what sort of happened with Bioshock. I wanted to finish that, but then I ran into recording issues and never got back around to it because I've played it so many times. But thank you for joining me, and I hope I will be trying to edit this quickly. It's probably going to be maybe 20 parts in total. But thank you for joining me, and I hope you all enjoyed.